welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video while I am driving down the freeway. Just finished a great meeting. You know those meetings when you walk in the room and everybody has plans on working against you, and you walk out of that room and everything goes your way, and everyone does a complete 180 and says, we're on board with you. That's one of those meetings, and it's just awesome. And I'll tell you the secret to winning negotiations, and this one was a tough one, an absolute refusal from someone to own up their responsibilities to completely have this level of win, is because I walk in with absolute utter confidence, as well as a massive amount of sincerity and empathy and understanding for their position, which then leads to just a complete win-win. And I'm looking for that every day. I'm looking for that in every single business meeting I go in, is how can we both come out of here winning? And today, and that felt good. And then I thought I need to knock a video out to address some comments about Knockout 360's video, where he's predicting massive price drops on the Challengers and Chargers and the Scat Packs and the Hellcats and the RTs, GTs, all that stuff, come July time frame, later on this year, maybe after that even, where he was told, quote, by somebody high up in Dodge, that they're going to be slashing prices, reprinting stickers, and put them on the windows. And a lot of you have been asking me, do you think that's true? And listen, I love Knockout 360's videos. I mean, geez, as a matter of fact, I was watching him talking in his car, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do that. So thanks for the inspiration, Knockout. With that said, sometimes he's a little out there. Sometimes he's like on a different planet. Sometimes he's circling Pluto with some of his ideas and predictions. But nonetheless, it's an entertaining channel, and he seems like a decent dude. So I have to say that my thought on what he said in his video recently about these prices dropping makes a lot of sense. And whether it's true or not, or whether they reprint stickers or not, I will tell you just my opinion based on business, and I think I'm really good at business, that they have to drop those prices. That the worst possible thing that could happen for Dodge, the worst possible thing, would be for all the new cars, those new EV things, ridiculous things,
this ridiculous thing,
to start showing up at dealers on trucks in droves, because they're going to need to have those lots filled with those cars. I mean filled. They can't go shoestringing this thing with 2 or 3 deliveries at a time. If they do that, they're really dead meat, because they need to get inventory out there, because they need to get sales. And they also need to get inventory out there to make sure that the dealers don't run the prices to the moon, and they can actually turn volume. So assuming that basic business premise, which makes sense, even though not a lot of the things Dodge does or the dealers do make a lot of business sense, but let's assume that they finally maybe hit their head on something and has some common sense jogged into their brain, that they've got to make room for these cars. And right now, most of the dealers that I've spoken with have overflow lots with lots of cars. So they have lots of cars on their dealership floor and their dealership lot, but they always tell me we've got a lot more in overflow. So if that's the case, they definitely need to start ramping up sales to make room for these new cars. Because again, the worst thing for Dodge, the manufacturer, would be that these dealers have a ton of cars all sucking up their floor plan loans to where they can't afford to take on a whole bunch more inventory. And that puts Dodge in a position of not being able to force these cars down their throats and get them in the lots. And they've got to free up some cash. And because of the massive slowdown, it potentially could screw up a launch. Potentially screw up a launch of a new car if they don't get rid of most of the old cars. So I think what Knockout's saying, and what he's saying he's hearing, makes a lot of sense. And And frankly, I would be impressed if Dodge did that. If they did that, if they did re-sticker everything, drop MSRP, add rebates, I mean, go aggressive in selling them. One, you should not buy a car today. But if they do that, that will help a lot, along with a potential drop in interest rates. Even a slight drop in interest rates could help moving those cars, or even some introductory or special incentivized interest rates, 4.9%, 3.9%, or something like that on those cars at a reasonable term, not 36 months or 48. Like, they need to get to minimum of 60 months on those things for them to make any sense, or longer, and drop those prices. That's a way they can meet in the middle and end up having some really good deals out there for all of us if you're thinking about buying. Now, if that pushes a lot of people onto the dealerships, will the dealers still be doing markups? Hopefully not. Hopefully they realize they got to make room in their floor plan. They got to pay off a bunch of those loans. They got to pay off all those interest accruing loans to be able to take on all these new cars and be the first ones with them and jump on board. And you better believe they're getting the sales pitch from Dodge, Stellantis. These are going to be the hottest things in the world, which I don't think they will.
This ridiculous thing.
But nonetheless, they have to get rid of the old stuff. If they don't, then they are going to be royally screwed. It's a traffic jam at a car dealership that is going to cost them millions of dollars. I mean, it's not something they can easily get past. This new launch could drive dealers out of business, and I know none of us feel bad about that for some of these dealers that play games, but if they get those prices low enough, they can liquidate these cars. If the manufacturer jumps in and helps out, then they can get to selling their stupid EV thing to the people who like stupid EV things.
This ridiculous thing.
And maybe they'll sell them. I'm gonna bet they're gonna need to offer some real good introductory rates and incentives to get those things to move as well. But we'll see. We'll see. But my take on that prediction from Knockout 360 is, I think he's got to be right. And whether he's right about Dodge actually doing it and re-stickering the cars, re-invoicing the cars, adding a ton of rebates and all kinds of stuff, if he's wrong about Dodge actually doing that, dropping prices dramatically from the manufacturer level to make it easier for the dealers to move them, they're gonna have to do it anyways. So I think no matter how we cut it, they've got so many cars. They've got, what are we in, April, May, June, July. They've got 4 months, let's just say 5 months because for delays. They got 4 to 5 months to get rid of inventory levels that are exceeding 300 days in some cars. I mean, Hornets, for God's sake. Now, the Hornets, those will sit over there in the corner. The dealers aren't hopefully taking any more of those on. But all the other SXTs, GTs, and all these 2023 cars, last call cars, are sitting there needing to get moved. So stay tuned. The reason I share this also is so many of you are asking, should I buy now? The dealers offer me a great deal. I'll tell you right now, depending on interest rate, depending on what you're getting for your trade-in, depending on a lot of different factors, and I'm happy to share with you. I'm trying to keep up with my Instagram messages, but it may not be a good time because I think you could wait and get a better deal. So just stay cool. Stay cool. You're going to get your car. And no matter what, you're going to get a 2023 if that's what you want. And you're going to get it for a much better deal than I think you could even get it for today. And so far, I will say that I have a staunch record, almost spotless record, of being right about where these prices have been headed, where they're going. And I've been doing this talking about this for, 2.5, 3 years, where these prices are headed. And those that didn't listen are buried in their cars right now. Those that did are winning in a huge way and going to get some screaming deals on their cars. So with that, everybody, hopefully you enjoyed today's quick video. Please like, subscribe, comment, share this with anybody who you think needs to hear it, because they're out there shopping for a car today. I think the deals are coming. I think we're putting these dealers in a tough spot by holding out and making their inventory build up. They're going to do anything to get rid of the cars. Just watch. See you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.